This is a Suboptimal podcast. Check out our suboptimal content at suboptimal.co.
This is episode 7 of the NighCast. I'm Drake, and today we're going to talk about streaming reflection and kind of where I started as a streamer and how I've come to be here on Mixer and what I want to do going forward. So kind of to start like the origin story of Drake, I learned about Justin TV and Twitch and its kind of evolution back around 2014. My brother-in-law at the time was doing some streams on there, raising money for, I can't remember which charity it was, but he was doing some old school video game playthroughs with his friends, and they were raising money and talking, and I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't really understand the platform. I didn't really understand what it was doing. I was a big YouTube consumer at the time, and so I didn't really understand the live portion of this because my introduction to them was I would go and just watch their streams to help support them, but I didn't really explore what that was outside of it. I had some friends that were really into watching streamers at the time, and they tried to get me to do it, and I just didn't understand. And I feel a little bit like I missed something. Like today, I understand streaming. I just was not in that mindset then, and so if you're feeling the same way, maybe it just takes time. And that's how it is with me. Like it takes time for me to become used to a new idea, become used to a new form or media that I am interested in and that I want to partake in. For years, I'd listened to, E-Bombs World, and I had gone to other sites, kind of like that. And I'm having a real hard time. There's the one with the tank. I can't remember what the name of that site was now, but anyway, it was one of those things where I kind of was introduced to it. I thought about it, and I wanted to do something there. And about the same time, like I started playing a lot of Destiny, and I had a good group of friends that were all playing Destiny together on the PlayStation, and a couple of them were starting to like hit the stream button on their PlayStation, and they would just stream when we were playing. I thought, hey, that's kind of cool that you could just like share your video game time with other people. That was awesome. And I did a couple little clips and stuff, but I didn't really, get into doing it at any type of regular basis. So then we forward myself like 3 years to the future. So 2013 is when my kid was born. So 2014 was kind of like a hectic year. My kid was turning, became a 1-year-old. I was playing a lot of Destiny. I was switching jobs. I was working a new job, and I just didn't really have much time to really go outside my bubble, my family bubble, and I wasn't in a place that I really explored anything at that point. So into 2017, I started getting like I was settled finally at my house, which is where I'm at now. I was settling into a new job that I was commuting and also working from home a lot. So I had a lot of flexibility in my life. My kid was starting preschool, so she was actually gone during the day for a couple hours. And I started to develop an interest in Twitch through what was it? There was a raid in Destiny 2 that came out, and I can't remember now. But anyway, my friend Alex was watching Corey Kingalethan, and I was watching Goth, and I know I just butchered his name, but he was watching Goth, and he's like, "Hey, you should check out the raid. It's really cool." I'm like, "Sweet, I'll go watch the raid." And so I'm watching him, and I'm like, and this is nothing against Goth. He's a funny person, but it was just not my style because it was, I don't know. It just wasn't like my fit. And so I was like, I wasn't really sure about it. But then I heard this other guy talking in the raid team, and I'm like, I kind of want to check out all these other guys. So I waited for them to kind of like see the names, and then I started going through Twitch and seeing if I could find those names. And I found Gunny and Rebel and Professor Broman, and I was watching them. And I'm like, I immediately understood what Twitch was watching Professor Broman. Like that's when I realized, dude, the interactivity, not just with chat and not with just like delivering your personality to people while you're playing a game, like sharing the time that you are in game with them and growing them. And then I that was like I understood, and I immediately like tuned in. Like I hit the follow button, and I was like, I'm sold on this. I want to follow this guy. And I can't remember now. That's like it's almost 2 years ago, but I've been following him for a while. And then I started realizing he was doing these other things. Like he would be talking about, his life, and he'd be talking about like other pieces of content he was creating. He would be on Twitter, he'd be on Instagram, he would be on YouTube, and he was just, it was like, oh, the Twitch thing is not just one component. It was many parts. And that's when I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, I'm a guy that wants to never do like the same thing over again. I want to continually change the way I do something and continually improve and move on and see what I can do to grow something. And so like sitting there and having the same thing over and over and over again is just like not my way. And like listening to him like say the same things, and that you could do that as a streamer. Like you're not just sitting there playing the same game over and over. You can go and do many different forms of content. I was like, I get it. And I'm not an artistic person. I'm not a person that like goes out and will do drawing or writing or anything. I'm not a person that ever really got into those things. Like I tried and I just never got into it. But streaming, sharing my time within a game, sharing the story, talking to people about it, talking to people about related topics, that's where it was like, that's what I want. That's the community aspect is the part that I want. And so I saw him doing that, and I was like, dude, that's kind of what I always wanted. And about the same time, my group of friends playing Destiny were busy with lives, and I was the one that was starting to be stable and finally could play with them. And then they're all moving on, so I wasn't able to really have that opportunity to really like focus with them during Destiny 2, and I really was bummed out. I'm like, maybe I should try streaming. If I try streaming, these guys always have full fire teams. Like even if I could find 3 other people, I could fill up my fire team. That's the ideal, right? Like I could play games with people, I could meet new friends, and this is like growing myself outside of the community that I had built myself into. So I decided in about September of 2017 to finally like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this on a semi-regular basis. And I don't remember exactly when I got going. Like it was like September 29th. Okay, I'm looking back at the Twitch data here now. If you're on YouTube, you'll see my page here. So this is my I picked up July through April 2018. April 2018 was my last day on Twitch. That's when I moved from Twitch to Mixer. So April 8th and then April 12th, I believe, was my next day. So these are my official Twitch numbers from that time frame. So I'm gonna zoom in here, make the screen even bigger. So I averaged about 2.1 viewers over that time. And so before we get into the numbers, what I want to do is I want to say that, I had nothing. I didn't start this journey with a group of people that were going to follow me. I didn't start this journey with, a bunch of friends. I really haven't told much of my family that I do this. And it's not because I am ashamed of it. It's because that I know some of my family are very against video games, and I just don't want to introduce any negativity into what I'm doing. And so I focus on trying to keep positive and try to keep this very focused on building a community. And I feel that we're starting to do that, and I'm working with groups like Suboptimal, and you can see the logos on the screen or on my shirt because I'm wearing my Suboptimal shirt today. And I'm working with Rogue Squadron, I'm working with the Magic Club, and I've worked with the Positive Pineapples in the past. And these are all amazing groups of individuals that are all building communities that are trying to aim for positivity, and that's really was my goal. So I hit stream in September of 29 of 2017, and I wasn't really sure what I was doing. And I started meeting people, and I was starting to play games with them. But one of the things I learned about Twitch really fast was like, even if you're talking to other people and you're talking to people rough, all starting out, it is a really long road on Twitch to grow yourself without any type of pre-existing base. You really have to have some type of base to get a foothold on Twitch, and I don't have that. But I don't feel like I have the marketing expertise where I can go out and talk to people to really market myself. And I don't want to be one of those people that's like super pushy and like, hey guys, hitting every single Discord. On top of that, I don't have time to do that. I have a family. I work full time. This is something I love to do here, being streaming, and something that I really love to create the community and build the community. But also, I would rather put the time into the community and playing with people and talking than into going to random Discords to try to promote, because that seems to be like the way to kind of introduce yourself now, is finding those Discord channels that do the promotion for community members. I'm trying to stick to what I learned from Chris Roman and what I learned from people around his community is, be myself, be in chats, talk to people, and just be a good freaking human being. Like, just be yourself and be nice to each other. And that's really what I want to do. And what I found out from from Twitch was that that's really hard. And so if you look here over almost, it wasn't quite a year, September to April, but over the 6-month window that I played on there, on average, I got about 2.1 views. There's nights where there's 0. I've had plenty of 0 nights. Most of these 1 average viewers are like best friends I have in real life, or my wife that came in and just sat in my channel. And I've had a couple nights that were really lucky, like in March, where I had like 6. I think I peaked at, I can't remember now. I think it was peaking at like 15, 20 people. I think I had was like my max I ever had in chat at one time. And that was like my birthday stream. I went like 24 hours. Or 22 hours, I guess. I didn't quite make the 24 that I was hoping for. Man, I was tired. But I had 1,000 views on the channel, and I thought that was really good. And then I started hearing K-Magic. I heard Brofish, Angry. I heard all these people talking about Mixer, and so I went over to Mixer and I created my account. And I was like, "What is Mixer? What is this Microsoft platform?" And for me, not as a full-time broadcaster, and for a person that I don't know, and I don't believe I'll ever be able to do this full time until maybe I retire from doing IT work. But, the dream's there, and I'd rather have the dream and the opportunity to keep the dream going and to pursue that dream. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I could monetize, because I got the invite to the affiliate program, and I could monetize on Twitch. But I was like, I don't really want to monetize at this type of viewership. Like, I want to grow the community first before I even think about that, because I don't think it's fair to put myself out. I find the value that I provide is in the community aspect and not in monetary, the monetary payment aspect right now. And that's what I want to do. Is I would like to get myself to a partnership status with a platform before I look at that part. And I'm hopeful that we will hit that on Mixer, even maybe by the end of 2019. We got a long way to go. We got almost 9 full months to go. So I'm hopeful. But anyway, this is what I had. 41,000 minutes watched. Average chat messages about 76 per channel. So I mean, this is for me, I thought it was really good. This is me learning, and this is me learning for 6 months. So then I was going to do this at a year, so I kind of missed that a little bit, but I wanted to show the next 6 months over on Mixer. So on Mixer, I moved over, created the account, about March of 19, and I started my first stream. Yeah, it was like the 12th. Yeah, the 12th. And here's the thing. So the 12th, these peaks that you see on the map are all times I've been hosted on the front page, except for this one. That one's the natural one. These peaks were front page. And during the first few months of me being on Mixer, I hit the front page 4 times, which is pretty darn good. The other thing to remember is I also play during when most people are asleep. I start playing at about 8 p.m. Pacific time. I go to about midnight or 2 a.m. Pacific time. This is kind of an odd time. Most people on Mixer are offline at that point. But that's when I get to play, because that's when my kid's in bed. That's when my family is asleep. And that's when I have the time to pursue my dream. So, starting over here on Mixer, I was able and was lucky enough to hit a bunch of peaks. So I have some odd peaks, but if you look at the normal growth curve and you look down here at like my averages, you start to see that this line right here, this first bar, is 20 viewers. This one's 40, 60, 80. So going across over the year, month of July was a hard month. I was actually gone for most of it, so I actually didn't have much viewership during that time. But I'm starting to get to the point, and my hope is, and this was my goal for this year, for the end of the year, was to start to see my averages above 20 viewers. And I know that's a number, and you're not supposed to focus on numbers, but that was my belief, that I was able to be a streamer. Like, I could say I'm a broadcaster, I'm a content creator, I'm a streamer, if I could get that viewership average above 20. And I don't know why I picked 20. I just felt that was a good solid number for a person playing in my time frame. When I look around at other people playing, there's people with more than me, and there's much more popular games than what I play normally. So I'm not normally in the top 1%, and I don't think that I will be for a while if I ever get there. But the hope and dream's there. Anyway, distracted onto other things. So this map, this graph shows that kind of like the average viewership and the peak viewership. But here's the thing to kind of remember. So I came over in April. So May, June, July, August, September, October. So there is 6 months. So October. You can already see that I went from average of 2 to average, by the looks of it, is around 10. So just by switching platforms, same time period. Now, to take into account of this, I did grow as a streamer. I did learn how to better talk to people. Like when I first started, I didn't know how to talk to the camera. I didn't know how to keep constant conversation going. I tried and I listened and I watched podcasts like Professor Broman's about learning how to, be better at this kind of craft. I would say streaming is more of a craft than anything else. Just because you have to be able to not just entertain yourself, because a lot of it is entertaining yourself, especially starting out. You're a person that is talking to an empty chat room. You don't have people coming in. You might have a couple lurkers in there. They're not interacting with you, but you know what? It's not their job to interact with you. It's your job to interact with them, to grow your talking base. One of the numbers I heard recently was that about 5 to 10% is who is going to talk in your chat room. So if you have 10 people, that's like one person's going to chat with you. If you have less than that, you're lucky if someone's going to chat with you. This is kind of the thing to just kind of keep in mind. Like, don't put it on them. Don't put it on chat. Don't put it on anyone else other than yourself to be entertaining. Don't try to lecture chat. And I think Lance, it's L Lance on Twitter. He has some really amazing videos. But one of the things he did was he had a video that explained this really well. And I would definitely go ahead and follow him on Twitter and watch his videos, because they are hilarious. But they also speak on a lot of really good points of mentality and thought processes behind streamers and how they interact with chat. It's actually kind of hilarious because it's true. But yeah, numbers. My goal would be to keep growing this, to keep growing the community. I just want to be a person that can learn to be better entertaining, that I can continue to share my games. One of my goals with myself is to not imitate, but to try to harness the mentality that Ko has. If you don't know about Ko Carnage, he's like a top 1%, 2% streamer on the Twitch platform. But what I like about him is that he really puts community first, and that he treats his community amazing, and that he talks with the community and he works with them, and that he is one of the things he says is that it's a couch. Well, I'm here on the internet couch with all of you playing the game together, just like you would with the Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo. Back in the day, you'd have your console, you'd have a single player game, and all your buddies would come over and you'd sit on the couch and you'd just all be able to one person would be playing, but you all be throwing out ideas. And that's how he kind of runs his channel, and I love that. That's like, the ultimate of what I would want to have, is like having that kind of interactivity. And so that's kind of my goal of where I'm going. I know this is a rambling episode. I know I'm kind of like all over the place. I didn't have, it's really hard for me to talk about numbers. It's really hard for me to talk about the different aspects of this, because I'm still learning and I'm still trying to fully believe in that what I do here is going to matter and going to be meaningful over time. And I want it to, and I have the dream of it being there. It's difficult, and I don't know if you've tried it. I don't know if you are a streamer out there listening to this, but I know some of you are, and I know that you guys know how hard it is and how difficult it can be to do a stream, and what it takes to like prepare. Like going into a stream, just hit go live. That's what everyone says to do, but you don't get growth by just hitting go live, because did you pick the right game? Did you pick the right game for your audience? Did you go out and do your research on how to get it set up and running properly on your setup? Like, I have a PC setup, so I have to make sure that if I'm running OBS or anything else, that I have these types of things linked together and they're running correctly. So that way I don't stall out the stream. I don't stall out my internet pipe. I don't cause the game to crash because I have the wrong driver installed. Yeah, it takes some effort kind of getting things to work. And then on top of that, making sure that I'm playing the right game in my time frame. And these are things I'm researching. Like, am I playing at the right time? Should I change to mornings and try to stream before work? These are things that I'm constantly reviewing about myself and what I need to do to move forward. And try to be the best streamer I possibly can. So that way I can continue to build this community. Anyway, guys, I know this is a long one. I know it's a rambler. I hope everyone got some piece of information out of here. I'm going to try to get more guests lined up for podcasts in the upcoming weeks. I have some episode ideas that I want to talk to some very specific people on, because I know they're impacted by it a lot. I got a really cool episode coming up in March. It'll be coming out before the end of before my birthday, March 11th. So it'll be coming out before that, and I got a couple of the guys that are going to be on there, kind of talking about some historical gaming stuff. Anyway, if you have ideas of what you want to hear, or if you have a topic that you want to hear about, please feel free to reach out to me. My DMs are open on Twitter, on Instagram, on Discord. You can join the Discord channel. These are all linked off my Mixer page, mixer.com/Dryk, DRYKK. If you have any feedback on the episode, it'd be great to hear from you. If you have any type of information that you want to have a follow-up on, or you want to talk about, let me know. We could talk about having an episode. Until next time, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week. This will be out on Monday, and until next time, see ya.